All right, so again, substitution is just replacing something like a variable with something that's equal. So look at this one. We are told, face forward, we are told x equals 5, okay? And we want to find the value of 3x minus 8. So I know that x is equal to 5, right? Those two things are the same. That means I can substitute the 5 in the equation. So here, 3x minus 8 becomes 3 times 5 minus 8. Took out the x, put in the 5. And then I can solve, and I can get that that's equal to 7. Here, we're going to use substitution to solve the system of equations. The best problems to use substitution for are the ones where you have one variable like x equal to something or y equal to something. So look at this one. I'm given that y is equal to 2x, right? So now in this problem, I substitute that for the y. So look here. I have x plus, now here I have y. But in the step above, what did it tell me y was? 2x. So here I put 2x is equal to 3. And now I combine like terms, right? So here I have 1x plus 2x is 3x is equal to 3. And then divide by 3, divide by 3. X is equal to 1. Great. Now I need to solve for y. To do that, I'm going to have to take this and go back to my original problem and substitute it into one of those. I have x. I want to find y. Here is my equation for y. Y equals 2x. So now y equals 2 times what? 1. So y is equal to 2. Now, you cannot leave your answer like this though. You have to write it as a coordinate 1, 2. Okay? It's always x, y. All right? Always in alphabetical order. X, y. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at this one. Here, I'm given y equals 3x, right? Y equals to something else. So in here, I'm going to substitute it for the y. Now I get x plus 2 times 3x is equal to negative 21. If you did this correctly, the point is you will end up with an equation that has only the same variable. All x's throughout, all y's throughout, okay? So now, this is x plus 6x is equal to negative 21. And then we solve this. We know how to solve this, yeah? Should we erase? Let's do it. On your mark, get set, go. Combine this first. Is that right? Now what do I do? And what's x? Negative 3. Now what am I going to do? Plug it in for the other one. Y equals 3x. Y equals 3 times negative 3, negative 9. So it's negative 3, negative 9. That's my answer. Okay? You're constantly going back and forth like a loop in those equations. All right? Okay. You ready for the next one? This one is a little bit more intense, but fun. Okay? So take a look. What's y equal to? All of this. Do you see how I circle? And then I mark where that's going to go. Where is all that going to go? Into the what? Into the y. Do you see that? But do you see how if I circle this one, it goes into the y of the other equation. Okay? You can't put it in the y of the same equation, then it all cancels out. You have to put it in the y of the other equation. So now I get 2x plus negative 4x plus 12 is equal to 2. Now, here's where there is a problem. When I combine like terms, what does that give me? Somebody raise your hand and tell me. Yep. Any other answers? Negative 2x, because this is 2x minus, plus and minus together makes minus, okay? So this is negative 2x plus 12. Okay, so that's what I mean.
Wait, I'm confused.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
So let's move on. Stay after class, I'll tell you. Okay. So now minus 10, negative 2x, 12, sorry. Okay. So negative 2x is equal to what? Negative 10. That's why I was doing 10 before. So x is how much? 5. Okay. Yeah. X is 5. Now I'm going to plug it into the other one. Y equals negative 4x plus 12. Y equals negative 4 times 5 plus 12. Okay? So y equals negative 20 plus 12, negative 8. So 5 and negative 8. Okay? Okay. Now, all these were made so easy for us because there was always an equation that said x equals something, y equals something. Here, there is no such thing. We have to make that ourselves. So what I do in this case is I look for one variable that has no coefficient, or the coefficient is 1, right? Which one in here has a coefficient of 1? It's this x. So now I need to solve for that x. I need to get that x alone. So I'm going to do plus 2y plus 2y. X equals 2y minus 3. You see that? Now I have something. So here we go. That's what I'm going to substitute. What am I going to substitute it into? The x. This x. So 3 times 2y minus 3 plus 5y is equal to 24. Okay, do you see how I'm going step by step? And look, maybe it's a good idea to also use different colors. I know on your homework it's only pencils, but if just to substitute, if you want to use a different color to make it clear, that's fine. People can do it without, and also that's fine as well. Okay, so now let's distribute 6y minus 9 plus 5y is 24. What does this combine into? 11y minus 9 is 24. Plus 9 plus 9, 11y is 33. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to divide by 11. Y is 3. Okay, yes, Drew.
Why don't you subtract by 5y, because
By what? Oh, so what we're doing here is we're just combining like terms. We're not doing the addition property. Okay, so now y is 3. This time I'm going to plug it into the x. And I'm going to say x equals 2y minus 3. X equals 2 times 3 minus 3. So x is 3. So the solution will be 3 comma 3. So on a test, right, if this is like a 5-point problem, it'll be like, 4 points for the solution, 1 point for is your answer in the correct format. So it has to be in parentheses x comma y. Okay? Yeah.
The second part, didn't we already plug in x?
Hmm?
Like, for the first part, I thought we plugged in for x, but do we do the same thing for the second?
Yeah, so here it was 3x.
Yeah.
So this was replacing x. Now this is x is 2y. Now I'm plugging the y value in it.
Oh, the y.
Yeah. Okay. So now all of the ones we did so far had one solution each, right? But we know from the last lesson that that's only 1/3 of the cases, right? You can get one solution, you can get no solution, or you can get infinitely many solutions. So let's see how it works when you have to do it using algebra. Let's see how we get infinitely many solutions. Now, on the final, when there were some where there was infinitely many or no solution, people recognize that that's a special case, but sometimes they chose the other one, right? So let's just recap what all that is about, okay? Yeah. Let's talk about that later. Let's do this now. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to use substitution for this one. Y is equal to this. Okay. So here I'm going to put it into the y. Whoops, right there. Okay. So 2x plus 2 times y. Oh, 2 times y. Hang on, there's a 2 here. Right? So 2x plus 2 times y is equal to 4. Okay? 2x plus 2 times the new y. Okay, let's distribute. 2x minus 2x plus 4 is 4. Now, here, lots of ways to do this. If I subtract 4, well, let's not subtract 4. Let's do it the other way. What's 2x minus 2x? 0. So that goes away, right? And then what am I left with? 4 equals 4. This is infinitely many solutions. When you have the same one thing equal to itself, infinitely many solutions. Okay? When you have a true statement, other examples can be, x equals x, or x plus 2 equals to x plus 2. All of these will end up as infinitely many solutions. Okay? All right. So let's do one that has a no solution. So since this is not solved for us, none of them are solved, we're going to pick one to solve. I'm going to pick this one, this bottom equation, because the coefficients are 1. So what do you guys want to solve for, the x or the y? X. Okay. So we're going to subtract y. Okay. Kai, can you open the door? Okay. So now, okay, we're going to plug that into here. Okay? So this x into there. So let's do it. 3 times. Okay, plus 3y is equal to 6. Negative 3y plus 9 plus 3y is equal to 6. Negative 3y, positive 3y go away. I have 9 is equal to 6. Is that a true statement?
No.
No. So that's why this is no solution. Okay? Okay. All right, so let's do these. Now it's all mixed. Ooh, okay. Okay, let's do this one now. Okay?
How did you cancel out the 3y?
Well, I didn't. It was negative 3y, positive 3y, and together negative 3y plus 3y gives you 0. Huh? But I did it right. Wait, where?
I started with
And it's still no solution, but yeah. So did you do it exactly like I did? Or did you plug in something else?
I should get 3 parentheses negative y.
So x is negative y plus 3.
Okay.
And I substituted that into here. Okay?
So when I substituted, I got 3y equals negative 3x plus 6. I divided it all by 3.
But it's but how did you? Okay, I'll come over in a minute and take a look. Okay, let's do this one. So here, look, I have x solved for me. Okay. And so I'm going to plug it into this one. So 2 times 1 minus 4y plus 7y is equal to 3. Distribute, okay, and we solve, right? So go ahead and solve this one. I want you to get y, plug it in and get x. So what was it? This was 2 minus, yeah, I know. So this is y equals, so negative y is equal to 1, y equals negative 1. And then x equals 1 minus 4 times negative 1. Do you see the parentheses? Right? Do you see how I put parentheses? Because it's x equals 1 minus 4 times negative 1. So I put negative 1 in parentheses. So that will be x equals 1 plus 4. 5. And now I write it as 5 comma 1 and not the other way around. Presley.
What happened to like the 2?
Huh?
Where did it go? Like 2 minus 8.
Oh, I took it to this. So this was, first it was 2 minus y is equal to 3. And then I subtracted it. Okay? Yeah.
Is it 5 comma negative 1 or 5 comma 1?
Negative 1. Okay, so let's do this one. Y, right, is solved for me. So I'm going to put that into here. 6x minus 2 times 3x plus 2 is equal to negative 4. So 6x minus 6x minus 4 is equal to negative 4. 6x minus 6x will become 0. So here I get negative 4 is equal to negative 4. How many solutions? Infinitely many. You get zero when you get zero solutions when it's a false statement. True statement, infinitely many. If you forget, look here. True statement, infinitely many. Okay? All right, let's do one more. Ooh, look at that. Good old fraction. Okay, so 3 over 5x. Where am I going to plug that into? The x or the y? The y. So 3x minus 5 times 3 over 5x equals 15. Okay? So this is 3x minus, how much is all this going to be? How much is all this going to be? 3x. What now? 0 equals 15, and then no solution. Okay? Okay, so this one. Okay? Let's solve that one for b. What should we do? Minus a minus a. So b is negative a plus 1. So now, do this one. Any answers? Okay, raise your hand. Who has any answers? What do you have? What do you have?
-2 and
Any other answers? Yep.
2a equals -4.
Okay, and then let's solve for a. Continue solve for a. Yep. Any other answers? Okay, let's see. So here we're going to plug this into the b. Okay, so let's plug it into the b where I've highlighted. Here, it's going to be 5a plus 3 times negative a plus 1. Okay. Now let's distribute. 5a minus 3a plus 3. Okay. What's 5a minus 3a? 2a plus 3 is equal to negative 1. Minus 3. 2a is negative 4. Divide by 2. What's a? Negative 2. Now, this is the part that counts. Okay? Now I'm going to put this into the b. b equals negative a plus 1. So look, it's the a that's being substituted. Okay, hang on. It's the a that's being substituted. Okay? There is a separate negative in front that you can't get rid of. So it's going to be b equals negative. What's a? Not 2. Negative 2. And look, I put that in parentheses. Plus 1. So now b equals, how much is this going to be? 2 plus 1 and then 3. Okay?
That's a negative because it's a negative.
Yeah. So now the order, right? When it was x and y, it was obvious. X, then y. If there are other variables, how do we put them? A, B in alphabetical order. So A, then B. If it's C and D, C, then D. Always in alphabetical order. This is like the agreed upon way in mathematics, so nobody has any confusion. So it's negative 2, comma 3. Okay. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Huh? Yeah. You can do that too, but if you just leave it as 0 equals 15. If you just leave it like this, then it's, then it's not complete. You have to then go the other step. Okay, let's do this one. The sum of the measures of angles x and y is 18. The measure of angle x is 24 degrees greater than the measure of angle y. Whew. 2 equations now. Determine the variables and write a system of equations for this situation. So, I have 2 angles, x and y, and their sum is 180. That gives me one equation, right? If the sum of x and y is 180, then x plus y is 180. Now, there is another piece of information. The measure of angle x is 24 degrees greater than the measure of angle y. So look, yeah. Tell me.
When you do, like, you do split half, so it's 90.
No, we're going to do a second equation. We're going to do so ignore everything we've done so far. Can somebody write an equation with just the blue underlined parts? Yeah.
24 plus y
equals x, right? So look, here it says x is, what's the mathematical symbol for is? Equals 24 greater than y. That's y plus 24. So I write that here. X equals y plus 24. Now this becomes my system of equations. Okay? So when you have 2 variables and you want to solve it, you have to have another equation. All right. So now let's do this. Okay. I have x solved. So I'm going to plug into there. And this is what I'm going to plug in. So it's going to be y plus 24 plus y is 180. So 2y plus 24 is 180. Minus 24. So 2y is 156. Y is 78 degrees. So for x, right? X is y plus 24. 78 plus 24, 102. Now, in this case, it's saying to find the measure of each angle. These are different angles. This is not a system of equations with a coordinate. So you just leave it like this. Okay? All right, let's do this one, and then I'm going to briefly tell you guys something. Okay. So, here you have so much choice because you have x and y in the top you can solve for. You have x and y in the bottom to solve for, right? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to solve it for this x on top. So I'm going to add y. So x is y plus 8. And I'm going to plug it into the other one here. So it's going to be y plus 8 plus y equals 14. Right? What's this? 2y plus 8. And then 2y equals to what? 6. Third time was a charm. And then what? What's y equal to? 3. So the choices here are not given correctly. I'm just gonna delete the choices because it only gives 1. But then what's x? How much is x? 11. All right. So I write it as 11, comma 3. Okay. All right, so that's this lesson, and then obviously the homework is due on Monday because we don't have class tomorrow.